seated in the presence of the Lord. So although there are 45 verses there, I want to break those up into 3 sections, and on your outlines, you pull your outlines out now. We're on our 3rd Sunday looking at the word yield, Y-I-E-L-D. And so now I'm going to give you 3 E's that we have from the portion of scripture we looked at to really make sure we're clear about yielding to the Lord here. So again, how many want to see greater and more manifestation? Come on, give God one more and God praise with me. All right. Here's what happens. So we've been into this season now. So why are we not singing greater and more manifestation? We've been talking about this all month. We're going to get this in our spirit because of at least one or more of the following 3 failures. This is the one we've been talking about all month long with different examples. The first one, we have a failure of alignment. A failure of alignment. Everything being aligned. A failure of alignment. What are we saying here? Read this with me, please. Believers are positioned for manifestation when there is alignment between our ABCs, our actions, beliefs, and confession. So in order to fully be positioned, so let's be clear, God has already made blessings and provision and favor available. We get positioned to receive it. We sign for the package when there's alignment between our actions and our beliefs and our confessions. How many of us know that we can't believe something different than we confess? Folks can say, I confess I'm healed, and then their mind think, I'm never going to get healed. I mean, so we can believe and confess something, but our actions don't demonstrate. There has to be alignment between our actions, beliefs, and confessions. Now, what was Peter? Peter went from a fisherman to a fisher of men. Now, I want to make sure we talk about this for just a moment. So right here from Mark 1, 16 through 18, Jesus is calling his disciples. His 12 men that are going to be with him to go, and he's going to impart to their lives. This is when Peter is called. There's no other time in the book of Mark where we see Peter in the fisherman role. But if we went to the Synoptic Gospels now, meaning seeing with the same eye, and went to the book of Luke, then we see Peter. The first time we see Peter in Luke is when now, at this point, he's already, so we know before we get to chapter 5, Luke has already had some interaction with Jesus, because in Luke chapter 4, Jesus already healed his mother-in-law of a fever. So by the time we get to Luke chapter 5, this is the account we have where Luke is fishing. We already saw Mark 1, 16 to 18, Luke was fishing, dropped everything, followed Jesus. But not Peter and followed Jesus. Now what happens? We see now what happens when Luke, in the book of Luke 1 through 5, we see some expansion of what happened when Peter was fishing. Read this with me, if you would, from Luke chapter 5, 1 through 5. And it came to pass that as the people pressed upon him, now him, that's Jesus. So the people were following Jesus, trying to reach him and everything, to hear the word of God. And he stood by the lake of Gennesaret. In verse 2, and saw 2 ships standing by the lake. But the fishermen were gone out of them and were washing their nets. All right, keep going. And he being Jesus, entered into one of the ships, which was Simon. Who was Simon? Peter. And prayed him that he would thrust out a little from the land. And he, being Jesus, sat down and taught the people out of the ship. So imagine this. So all these people are around Jesus. He's trying to talk to them. He said, well, y'all just stay right here. You all stay on the shore. I'm going to get in this boat. We go a little further out. And I'm going to sit down and teach. I can talk to all y'all then. Instead of being surrounded around here, I'm going to move from the shore a little bit and teach you all. Okay? Verse 4. Now when he had left speaking or teaching, he said to Simon, who is Simon? Peter, launch out into the deep and let your nets down your nets for a drop. And then what happened? Verse 5. And Simon answered him, Master, We have toiled all the night and have taken nothing. Nevertheless, at thy word, I will let down the net. Now, what's happening right here? This frame is appropriate. So, in biblical times, fishermen would go out fishing at night, but they wouldn't go too far from the shore. They would try to drag the shoreline and bring fish in. Got me? So it may be 3 feet, but they're trying to drag the fish right there and bring them on in. How long have Peter been fishing? All night. So, and y'all know this, like some of y'all have had to work, all night long. Y'all try to come to church. The next day after you've been working all night long. And so he said, so there he was, Peter worked. And you know how you are been here, and you had a rough night last night, you like, and the other side, you try to wake up, and it's like, how do you wake up? So Peter worked all night long. What was Peter ready to do? And Mrs. Peter, like, you've been working all right. So all night long, been working. And so what were they doing when we first got here? What were they doing in verse 2? Cleaning the nets. Because if they didn't clean the nets would break. And the way they caught fish was by the nets. They had been working all night long. What did they call it? Nothing. Jesus taught. And then what did Jesus tell them? I want you to now get your clean nets and go out to the deep. Now, Peter's like, we've been here, I worked all night long, ready to go home. Last time I was late, my wife said she's going to change the key on the hut. So now, this one I'm ready to go back. And you will now want me to go, and not just on the shoreline, go out in the deep where fishermen don't fish out in the deep. Because we may end up catching something too big that'll try to take us over. And now you want us to go out there, sharks out there, now little guppers right here, but you want us to go out in the deep. So what happened? So now what we starts off with, now look what it says right here in verse 5. Master. So he already had some belief in the Lord called him master. So what we had to have a line between what? Our what? Actions, our beliefs, and our confessions. So despite everything in the natural that was going against Peter said at this point, I'm master. We have worked all night long. I'm terribly tired. You're going to have to do some marriage counseling on late again. But I've taken nothing. But what he says, nevertheless, at your word, I'm going to let down my net. I'm going to have some actions that correspond to my beliefs, that correspond now to my confessions. So now when you got an alignment between actions and beliefs and confessions, what happened in verse 5? How much did they take in verse 5? How many fish? None. We have taken nothing. Look what happens now. People, here's your E right here. Let's read it right down 5 and see you write that down later. So verses 3 and 4, because verses 3 and 4 from chapter 5 of Luke. So what happens? He says that now, after they had gone through here, I want you to get this now. They have worked all night long and have caught nothing but seaweed. They're cleaning out their nets, trying to go back in and like have another night with nothing in here. Jesus goes and teaches in the boat. Then says, don't go back home now. And if he taught, the pastor's son probably at least went for 45 minutes or an hour. So there Peter was all night long, didn't have his outline, trying to stay awake. Then Jesus says, now go out into the deep and put down your net. So Pete, you understand, there are times when your faith is going to be tested. Where in the natural, this doesn't make sense. See, tithing does not make sense in the natural. But those of us who tithe know that God has already provided your needs. Prayer doesn't make sense in the natural. I'm praying to a God I've never seen, but some kind of way it's always worked out. So fasting doesn't make sense in the natural. My stomach grumbling, but now I got clarity. So there are things that don't make sense. There are supernatural things that don't make sense in the natural. But Peter says, Master, at this point we have worked all night long. I've caught nothing. But nevertheless, at your word, I'm going to go and let the net down. I'm going to have my actions, glory to God, and my beliefs and my confessions line up. Well, what happened when that happened? Read this one. And when they had done this, they enclosed a great quantity of fish, and their nets began to break. and they signaled to their partners in the other boat for them to come and help them. And they came and filled up both boats, so they began to sink. What happened? So because my beliefs lined up, and my actions lined up, and my confessions lined up, they did what Jesus said that did not make sense in the natural. And while they're out there, all of a sudden they pull in some fish. And be like, y'all come over here. I got too many fish. So what's happening right now? So right now, y'all pull in some blessings. You got some blessings overflowing. Y'all come over here and get some of that blessing. I got some joy coming in. Y'all come over here and get some joy. I got some peace. Come on over here. And what happened? And fill so many fish. Fill both boats. Now I'm telling you right now, had the actions and beliefs and the confessions not lined up. At that point, Peter may be divorced right now. But he went home with a whole boatload of fish. Why? Because it did not make sense in the natural. But he trusted what God said. And here's the key point right here. Here's the breakthrough right here. What's there right here? What's underlined? At thy word. Because your word said it doesn't make sense. I'm still going to do it. At your word, I trust you, God. I believe in you. I trust you, God. Because you said this, God, because you revealed this to me, I'm going to step out on my faith. Now, I want you to know there's some folk in here like Peter, and you're feeling all drained, like things have not worked out in your life, and you don't know where your blessings going to come from, and don't know how things are going to work out. Now, I'm telling you right now, get your actions lined up with your beliefs and with your confessions, and you're going to have so many blessings, you'll be able to share the overflow. Many of us have gotten so used to working in the underflow. When you know it's like to be in the overflow. And I'm telling you right now, when our actions, glory, and our beliefs, and our confessions line up, we got so many blessings. Come on, I'm going to need somebody to take over. I don't have a container big enough to contain God's love. I don't have a container big enough to contain His blessings. I got some blessings for you. Y'all come on over here to kind of get me, because God's favor continues to be evident in our lives. Why? Because there was an alignment between what? The beliefs, beliefs, actions, and confessions. I'm telling you right now, so if we really want to prepare to receive greater and more manifestation, our actions have to be lined up with our beliefs and our confessions. How many are really ready now to receive greater manifestation? I said, how many are ready to receive greater and more manifestation? Actions. Now, here's what happened. So Peter could have called him master and could have said, I'll cast my net down, and not done it. Wouldn't have gotten the result. Or went through the motions and didn't believe what Jesus was going to do, and still wouldn't have pulled in a haul. It was when his actions, he let down his clean nets after going all night long and catching nothing, went out to the deep and had so many fish, even the other boat. Y'all come on over here. I know your nets are clean, but I got enough fish for you all to make sure that. But what happened? Not only did they both go get filled, they were so full they began to sink. It's time for believers to walk in some overflow and walk in some favor. Where our boats are so filled, they begin to sink. Like, I can't handle any more blessings. God, I just thank you for all you've done in my life, and now these blessings are going to overflow. So what happens? So for those of us that have hope and that we work with people who are not in church today, our overflow ought to bless them tomorrow. When we go home today, we let some folk in bed watching Bugs Money. Your overflow ought to bless them. And find ourselves making sure we start walking in the overflow. I'm telling you right now, believers, it's time to start living in the overflow. It's time to start walking in the overflow. It's time to start believing in the overflow. It's time to start experiencing the overflow. Can you just give God one more hand clap of praise for the overflow in the name of Jesus? So there's power in alignment. Y'all see what happened? Peter went from nothing to more than enough just by being aligned. I'm telling you, too many times our actions have been out of line with our beliefs and confessions. When that alignment is not there, then at that point we don't see the manifestation. But when alignment is there, we see more than enough and have overflow. Here's our next one here. While we're not seeing, first of all, we have the failure of alignment. Watch this next one, though. Not only the failure of alignment, the second we have is the failure of acknowledgement. The failure of acknowledgement. What's acknowledge mean? Acknowledge simply means acceptance of the truth. I'm acknowledging, I'm accepting the truth. Well, what happens? As a believer,